What's going on, everyone? Are you wanting to move to the Edmonton, Alberta area, or are you thinking about moving to the Edmonton, Alberta area? I do a lot of Zoom calls with clients just like you, asking about everything Edmonton, Alberta, and I wanted to jump on YouTube and give you an in-depth Google map look at how our city is set up. I'll tell you which cities are my personal favorite and which communities to avoid. I'll give you the lay of the lands from a local born and raised realtor's perspective right here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. My name is Shaden. This is my partner, Mathew, Haupt, and we are part of the Haupt Realty team based right here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything Edmonton and surrounding area, start now by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that little bell so you're notified every time I put out a new video, as well as if you're thinking about relocating here to the Edmonton area or moving within the city or surrounding area. Don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you want to reach us day or night. We got your backs covered for all your real estate needs. Now, Maddie's going to take it away.
Without further ado, let's take a live look at Edmonton, Alberta, Canada from a born and raised realtor like myself. I wanted to give you guys kind of a map look on Google, so if you want to jump on google.com and check out Edmonton, you can follow along. There are some cool features on here as well. You can look at different terrains, traffic, transit, biking, but this is a live look at Edmonton, Alberta. I'm going to start off by kind of just showing you some of the outsourcing communities and areas. One of them being, if you're going to do a drive, Edmonton does have an international airport, which is super awesome, but we've got Edmonton, Alberta right in through here, and then you've got Red Deer, which is just south of it, which is going to be about an hour and a half, and then 3 hours down south, you've got our friendly rivalries, the Calgary Flames, about 3 hours away. And if you want to go visit our beautiful mountainside, Banff National, Canmore, that's kind of where you're going to be checking out. Or you're going to probably check out Jasper National Park. So to get to Banff, it's going to take 4 hours, and to get to Jasper, it's going to take 4 hours. So you've kind of got to pick which way you want to go. Definitely two amazing spots you can go take a look at. If you are going to drive down to places like Vancouver, that's going to be about a 14-hour drive. Kelowna, you're looking around 10, something like that here with Kamloops as well. But these are kind of the certain areas that you're going to be driving by depending on what speed you go. If you are going to fly to Vancouver, it's only about an hour flight. So we have an international airport that flies to lots of places, not just in Canada, but all over the world. So definitely go check it out. I'm gonna zoom this back into Edmonton and kind of give you kind of the lay of the lands here and show you kind of what I see. And I do a lot of Zoom calls with people relocating from Edmonton to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, from different countries, cities, provinces, you name it. And a lot of them don't know what it's all about, but I'm gonna show you kind of in-depth look. So Edmonton's right in through here. You can kind of see some of the roadways that I'll comment on afterwards, but some of the places I wanted to look at first was you've got some pretty cool spots just outside. So right in through here, you've got a town called Sherwood Park. I'll zoom in there just so you can see where that one is exactly. So Sherwood Park, and then you've got St. Albert. These are two of the more popular towns just outside Edmonton. Take about 15 minutes, about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how far you are in Sherwood Park or St. Albert to get to the Edmonton core. But these are two amazing communities around that 70 to 80,000 range. They have infrastructure, they've got culture, they've got hospitals and pharmacies, movie theaters, and all that sort of stuff. They're little cities just outside the city, so definitely something worthwhile to check out and some of my favorite. Another place I want to talk about too is Fort Devon, Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. Those are all various towns that are really close to Edmonton, anywhere from the 30 minutes to 20 minutes to get to the outside here. And it's fairly popular for people. They range anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 people. There's lots of growth that are happening in around here. If you look at Edmonton in particular, like a lot of Edmonton surrounding area, right in this little neck of the woods right here, you've got lots of new home construction, and you've got lots of new home construction going out right through here. So these have been popular destinations for people. I'm going to break off a couple other things while I'm here and show you a little bit more, but there's a culture of acreages that is happening, and a movement, and you've got a lot of people that are moving to different areas. So right up at top here, you've got Sturgeon County, and then you've got Strathcona County, you've got Relocating County, which is just south of this, and then you've got Parkland County. So these are all acreage-like communities. You're going to get a little bit more land mass. They range from 1 acre, half-acre parcels to 10, 20, 30, 40, and to the moon when it comes to land. There's lots of availability, and it happens to be one of the most hottest markets just in and around Edmonton. That circle range, you get a ton of people that are gravitating to these different communities, and anything that's around that 600,000 and under is one of the hottest markets. But I find that over here in the east side, you get a little bit more water-like, lots of lakes and stuff in and around here. South of Leduc, in this area, Leduc County, it's more farmland, I find. So a little bit more open space. You tend to get a little bit more parcels of land, bigger parcels. And then Parkland County, one of my favorites. If you're looking for like privacy, lots of trees, and there's lots of lakes and stuff in and around the area, and that's super awesome. And then you've got up here on the north side, Sturgeon County, so it's kind of a mixture of farmland and whatnot. But we do specialize in acreages, not just condos and houses and luxury here in Edmonton, Alberta, but we have a team that services all these different areas, and we are here to help you. So if you look for anything more in depth, give me a call, shoot me a text, and I will do a one-on-one with you like I do with a lot of these other people. Some of the other things I want to kind of touch on before I do kind of a live look on some of the communities that I love, and some of the communities you should probably avoid is kind of the roadway infrastructure. So one of the biggest ones right here is this one here. This is Highway 2. Highway 2, that's what's going to get you to the International Airport, which is conveniently located just south of Edmonton. And then you've got this ring road called the Anthony Henday. The Anthony Henday, I utilize this every day. This is what gets me in and around the city in about 45 minutes to an hour. Pretty convenient, really depends off traffic. We don't get a ton of, I guess, gridlock, as you'd call it, here in Edmonton like you do in Toronto or Vancouver. It's more or less like waiting in line because there might be some construction, but the most I really see is 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not crazy. And most people that I talk to that are relocating here from major, bigger cities, it's tough, so it's not a big deal at all. One of the other roadways I want to talk about here is Whitemud Drive. Whitemud runs all the way across, connecting the south from east to west, west to east. And then you've got Highway 16 here on the north side that turns into Yellowhead Trail that goes all the way across, connecting you from east to west, and very convenient for people from Sherwood Park or Spruce Grove to get across the city. Another roadway I want to talk about here is 75th, going into right in this section, which is Wayne Gretzky Drive. We named after Wayne Gretzky because the old Coliseum used to be here, and that's what a lot of the driveway was up to the arena. So we named after our iconic superstar Wayne Gretzky, and you'll notice a trend here when I go towards St. Albert. But Wayne Gretzky Drive will eventually turn into Manning Drive and gets you from that section up. And then we've got 97th Street and Mark Messier Trail. So Mark Messier Trail used to be called St. Albert Trail. That was the reason we named it Mark Messier Trail, because he's another superstar that helped brought us all those cups. And he actually was born and raised here in St. Albert area. So some cool history there for you. But Edmonton is very accessible. There's about 1.5 million in surrounding area. So we are not the largest city, but we're growing. There's a ton of infrastructure that's happening. We've got major differences that are growing here. But one of the things too, we've got a beautiful river valley that runs all the way through here. So we've got the North Saskatchewan River that runs directly through our city. And there's beautiful hiking trails, biking trails, and beautiful houses that surround that whole section right in through there. But I'm going to give you guys kind of a organic look at what I view Edmonton like, and give you guys kind of a maybe a biased look at what I find are good communities and where to stay away from. But I'm going to delete a lot of this in here and zoom in. So let's take a closer peek at some of the stuff in here. So we've got Edmonton surrounding area. So right in the river valley, back in the day, you had all these older communities. Like this used to be some of the most popular right in through this section right here. This is where all the old money was, what I say. And then eventually it all jumped over to, in my opinion, over to the Riverbend area. And then now the new hotspot is Windermere. But I'm gonna break this down into a couple different sections. We'll look at areas like the Southwest. We'll jump a little bit into the South and the Southeast. We'll talk about the University District and some of the surrounding areas in that area. This section right in through here is predominantly industrial park, similar to what you see with places like Nisku and Atchison. And then, you know, there's some industrial park over along here as well, the Anthony or the Yellowhead Trail. So there's definitely something to consider when relocating to the area. But I'm going to jump in and talk a little bit more about the south side first, and we'll work our way up in, and then finally talk about north side and downtown. So if you look at some of the areas in my favorite areas right off the get-go, I love communities just like in here. So I grew up in this section right here in Riverbend. So Riverbend consists of a lot of different communities in and around, and it kind of just goes along this route here. So it gives you an idea of what like older Riverbend's right over here, and then it breaks into newer Riverbend. And you know, that starts from like the 60s, the 50s, 60s, and then it starts to go to 70s, 80s, and then starting to work ourselves up into the 90s and 2000s, and then gravitates into like early 2000s. And now this is kind of a mixture of, you know, all the newer construction and whatnot. So these are very family orientated communities. This one in here, it's got great schools. You're in close proximity to downtown, easily accessible to anywhere in Edmonton surrounding area. And it's surrounded by all these beautiful ravines that are right in through here. So this is probably my favorite part of the city. And then jumping over to Windermere, if you're looking for some more luxury stuff, like this is probably the most expensive part in Windermere, right in through here, and it kind of gravitates, and there's some pretty cool stuff here in Keswick as well. But if you're looking for that luxury style and that mansion, you know, somewhere around that million, 2 million, 3, 4 plus 5 million, that's where you're going to get some of this more dynamic housing in here. This is where like the hot spot is right now. If you look in through here, you've got Windermere Currents, which is super popular. It's a retail chain drive up industrial area so that you can go and check out restaurant shops. It's got brew houses, it's got PF Chang's, it's got the home hardware stores, grocery stores, you name it, it's in there. It's pretty much a one-stop shop for anything shopping, and that's super popular for this neck of the woods. And something that would be very similar would be something like here in South Edmonton Common, but we'll jump over there a little bit later. Yeah, so if you're looking to relocate, you are going to be paying for what you get here. This is some of the most popular part of the city. Another popular part that I kind of wanted to touch on as well, in my opinion, is right here on the west side. Some of my favorite part of the city as well is just right in this neck of the woods is right in through here. So this is super popular, and I love like this area is right in through here, and this is where all the old money was and whatnot. But you're gonna have beautiful houses. You're gonna have some older houses, bungalows predominantly, that need to be either revitalized or have been revitalized. There's made properties and great schools and all that sort of stuff right in through here. So if I had to pick somewhere to live, I would probably go in through here or over into the Riverbend, Windermere area personally. But yeah, some of the other stuff I want to talk to when we go back to the south is you've got some great communities in here. So as soon as you start to go a little bit further east, McEwen, Blackman Creek, Allard, these are all great communities to be involved in. Good family orientation. You do have a future hospital that's going to be built right here just off Ellerslie Road, which is super convenient because the other hospitals that you can actually go to are going to be here in Mill Woods. Or you're going to have to go towards the university, which is right on through here. There are a couple more here on the north side, but yeah. If you look at further east here, you've got one of my other favorite communities, which is Summerside. Summerside is, we did a cool video if you want to check out everything Edmonton, Alberta. You've got one of my favorite, it's got a beautiful lake right in through here, and that lake has got fully fresh stocked trout. It's got clean water. You've got a clubhouse with beaches and parks and tennis courts, and it's in the wintertime you got skating rinks, and there's a community hall. It's a pretty epic place to live, and you know, I was fortunate enough to have a house there with my family, and it's definitely a great place to grow up as well. Yeah, so there's another roadway here that you got, which is Ellerslie Road. So you're going to have shops and restaurants all along this road here and here, and then you've got more family-like communities in Charleworth, Ellerslie, and Walker, and these are all some of the newer home constructions on the south side of Ellerslie, and it starts to get newer when you start to go more south. Okay. Another place I wanted to talk about that is very popular is right in through here is Westbrook Winter Derrick Club. This is a super popular area. If you can buy real estate in and around this area, it's a blessing. It's a very super cool spot. They have private golf course right in the heart here. I'm a member at this as well, and it's one of the best family orientated places that you could be. It's got everything from pools, tennis courts, golf courses, fitnesses, and you name it, it's there. But a lot of this real estate right here is some of my favorite. You can check out some of the videos we have on YouTube as well. Once you want to go into some of the more cost-effective types of real estate, like these are all great communities: Beautiful, Greenfield, Ermineskin, Bears Paw. You're going to get more of the bungalow style houses, split levels, that sort of stuff. A little bit older, need to be a little more revitalized, but also great community. Mill Woods, this is a great sector. I think you're starting to get larger lots with more cost-effective real estate. There's some good sense community, but right in through here, it's hit or miss where you go. Some people tend to say that there's higher crime rates over in the Mill Woods area, but you do get tremendous value. Like, you're going to get crime anywhere you go. It just seems to be a little bit more saturated in places like Mill Woods, or the worst of it is going to be up here in the north by Alberta Ave, but that's where we'll talk about a little bit later. But it's still good. Like, you're around the school, there's convenient shops, and you are going to get a lot of families, a lot of different ethnicities. You're going to be dealing with like more cost-effective real estate, and it's going to be more stuff that needs a little bit of TLC probably, and I think there's a law of attraction. It just seems to be, when you have kind of a bigger mixture of low income or houses, it tends to draw more crime, and it's just reality of it. Not saying that it's a bad area, it's reality, realist, and yeah. So once you start to go a little bit further east, right in through here, Silverdero, the Meadows, Tamarack, those are newer communities just off 17th Street and 34th Street, and there's some new communities like Astor that are coming in. Maple is all developed, and like, this is what I call Little India. So Little India, it's predominantly a lot of Indian people that have relocated. Find there's a good presence of Filipino here as well, but predominantly a lot of Indian people here in this southeast section, and it's a great community. I find it's got good culture, and yeah. Right in through this section here, as you see past this, so this is the White Mud. This is all industrial park, so this is predominantly industrial, so you're not going to be really living in this section here. Once you start to go further north towards this section in here, like Otwell, Bonnie Doon, this is kind of more of the University District. The University District is kind of, in my opinion, somewhere like this on that area, but then there's lots of conveniently located places in and around that are very popular. So these are more of that bungalow style, or a lot of revitalization going on with infill, split lots, that sort of stuff. If you have any interest in that, or you want to know anything, I do have an extensive building background. I know building code, I know how to split lots, and I can really dig into lot orientations and what you need, and some of the restrictions and zonings that you need, if that's something that you want to have a little bit more education on. But these are all super cool areas. I'm starting to see a lot of the families that are my era that have grown up in some of the old areas and moved back out into the newer areas are coming back to the core, and it's kind of cool to see. But you're going to see a mixture of larger lots, bungalows, tree-lined streets, and it's super convenient. This section right here, I find it's very European infused. That's where you've got like the French Quarter and whatnot, and there's lots of amazing river valley walks all along this section here, and you can get some beautiful, amazing apartments to houses to luxury homes to infills all along this section here. Okay. What else we got going on here? I'm gonna go back towards the west side before. So we've talked about west side. We've got amazing opportunity here. I think the west side is a growing. This is a really hot spot right in through here, and then all the way up in through here, and then like even stretching along up to here. You've got amazing new communities being built. It's just exponentially growing. You got a lot of the newer home construction in there. Right in through here, you've got some beautiful communities as well. Along the riverbank and valley, you start to get more of the luxury stuff like Cameron Heights and Donsdale and whatnot. So, and then it bleeds into areas like Winnell and Rio Terrace and Pat Heights, those sections. These are super cool therapy, a little bit more cost effective, but it starts to get a little bit more expensive along this section, and then it starts to jump in the price when you go to Laurier to Parkview, and then up in here, this is really the cat's meow, Glenora, Crestwood, Parkview, Laurier. So if you're looking for the older community, that's the section you want to be. If you want to be in the newer community, Windermere and surrounding area, if you're looking at something a little bit more cost effective, I would probably focus somewhere out here in the Mill Woods area. And if you want some unique places like Summerside, which is irreplaceable, you can't find any communities like that, I would check out Summerside, because it's like having a lake in the city and you're in the city. But going back to the west side, this is all great community that's in here, and right in through here, it starts to get a little bit more cost effective, like West Edmonton Mall. This is where a lot of attractions go to. This is a cool location. You get a little bit more cost effectiveness in and around this area. I just find that there are good communities, but the further you are from the River Valley or in some of these lower income places, you're gonna be dealing with a little bit more crime than you would in some of the more established sections. But all great communities, definitely recommend here. Once I start to go into downtown, you've got downtown, which is not the best, my opinion. Like, our downtown sector is not the greatest. We've got a couple streets that I'm fond of. I like 103 and 104, right by the arena, which is kind of right through here. So that's where the Rogers Place Arena is. So that's where you're gonna get right here. And then you've got 103 and 104 is two of my favorite streets that are going to be heavily populated. A lot more condos in this neck of the woods, high rises. You tend to find more of the houses further down on towards the River Valley. But Edmonton is set up where I find a lot of people have gravitated to the outsourcing area. They like to move to further out because traffic's not a real big deal. But if you are kind of situated in areas where you don't want to do much traffic, you do work downtown, there are some cool spots that are in here. I would probably stay everywhere from the Ice District and stay west of this. So this part of the area where you get to the Brewery District and this section, this is all pretty good spot in my opinion. So I would definitely consider that move if you're looking to live. Oliver is a super popular trending area, and if I had to live downtown, I would probably live on the west side of that area, and you get kind of all different buildings from newer to older. And yeah, there's some amazing River Valley views you get ridden through here, and it's something that you really need to see in person to take a look. Some of the bad places that I would personally stay away from is Central East Edmonton. So something right around here. This is Commonwealth Stadium. Like, I would stay clear of this area personally. Boyle Street, Macaulay, Alberta Ave. This is probably some of the rougher parts of Edmonton. I do get a lot of people calling me and say, "Hey, Matt, like this section in Alberta Ave, there's this really cost-effective house and whatnot." But you tend to pay for what you get, and it does look beautiful, and I do think it's beautiful when you're driving around. But this is where you're going to get more crackheads, and you're going to get more hookers, and just get more crime, and it's just somewhere I would like to stay away. And it's kind of strange because like you got this section here that I would probably stay from, but then you've got areas like Highlands, which is like probably the most popular place in the north side, with river valley views and some of my favorite parts of Edmonton. And then I find, you know, as soon as you get closer to the Yellowhead Trail, it gets a little bit, I guess it's not as desirable, in my opinion. Like there's community feel and whatnot, but I just find like right around this section here, it's a little bit rougher, and it just tends to, you pay for what you get. When you go to the north side, like I said, there is a thing. North siders, south siders. I grew up with south siders, so I'm going to be a little bit more biased towards the south side, but there are amazing communities, and I would stick closer to this Lake District and closer to this section up in here. This just tends to be some of the better real estate, and I'm finding that there's some cool spots right in through here as well that I would focus on if you're going to go into the north side. And there's great new home construction. You know, some of my favorite communities in the north side, if I had to go in there, I'd probably lean towards some of these areas like Cybeck or McConaughey, Shaughnessy, Crystalina area, Thavatin. These are all great. Rappersville, like these are cool spots, newer home construction, and you know, I like places like Cumberland. Like these are all good communities with great schools, and you know, it's going to be a little bit more cost effective. So the south side and the west side, I find, gets a little bit more higher net worth, whereas the north side, it's a little bit, you pay a little bit cheaper for your product, and it just it really depends on where you want to be. And I think that you know, it really depends on where you want to be. So if you're looking in Edmonton from the southwest, it would be my favorite part of the town. I do really like the west. Central, east, and university area is great and all. And yeah, so I know I'm talking and rambling on a lot, and I just want to kind of jump in here and give you kind of a basic look at what Edmonton and surrounding area looks like. And I wanted to show you things like the LRT station that you have in here. So our LRT station runs this way down and then this way up. So if you're going to have the LRT station, it goes this way, and it's being constructed this way towards West Edmonton Mall, but it's going to come across here to the southeast. I can send you this as well, and then you also got this all being built, and eventually this is going to come in where you've got the LRT running up here and then coming all the way up to here. So it gives you kind of a good look at the LRT system that we have set up here. If you're reliant on the LRT, I really feel like Edmonton, you need a car. If you are reliant on it, I would probably try to find a station somewhere to be close to so that you can come into. That's why downtown and this area is super popular, just because people can get to the university and back. So feel free to drop me a line. I'll send you a couple links to where the LRT systems are, and if you want to jump on a Zoom call, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me a message, and I'll go into depth a bit more with you. But I want to show you a little bit more on kind of some of the services that we provide as realtors. So Paragon is the system that we utilize as realtors here in Edmonton, Alberta and surrounding area, and we have some things that I can show you that what I look at. So from a residential perspective, if I was going to showcase, say, a community like Windermere in Edmonton, I'll show you some things. It'll show me there's 54 active or pending properties for sale. That's one thing I like to look at. And then, you know, something like we'll look at in the last month, how many properties have sold within the area, and it gives you a different idea of gives you kind of a way. So there's 49 properties and 16 properties have sold within the area in the last little bit. But one of the things I wanted to show you is some of the stuff that I dig into when I look at Paragon and digging into a property. And if there's properties that you like to look at and you really want to fine tune and we find out your community, I can take a look at various different things. So one of the things I'm going to look at for you right off the bat is, say you're into this house right here, and I want to take a closer look at what's going on with it. So I'm going to show you, the history of the house. Some of the history of the house is, I'm going to show you how many times it's been listed, when it was sold last, all that sort of stuff. So that behind the scenes information that we will provide you. I do like to look at tax assessments. So taxes on something here, they're saying that assessed value is 1.293 million. And at that price point, you're paying $12,215.60 a year in taxes. Some of the other stuff I like to look at is the map location, where it's located within that community, so we can get a bird's eye view. I like to look at where the amenities are, where the schools are going to be, what it backs onto, what the sun orientation looks like, and those are critical things when buying real estate that some people overlook. Another thing I like to look at is the GeoJet. The GeoJet is super cool to utilize. It's stuff that we can kind of get a bird's eye view like you would get on Google Map, but then I like to look at the parcel size. So it'll give me like dimensional grid-like parcel sizes so that I can send you what the width and length and all that sort of fun stuff is. And another thing we look at is super important is proximity to schools. Like when you're relocating here with a family, or if you're planning on having a family, you want to check out where the schools are and how far you're going to have to drive, or maybe that's utmost importance to you. So some of these places you're going to have to drive to go to some of these schools, and it really depends. So like if you're going to be looking at a different school zone, it's going to tell you exactly what schools are within the radius, designated middle schools and primary, and it'll show you all that sort of fun stuff so that I can send you that. And if you need to know if any of these schools are good or bad or whatnot, like I'll be able to tell you. Just tell me, shoot me a line, give me a call, shoot me a text, and I'd love to jump on a call with you. But there's lots of cool stuff that we can check out. But from a rural perspective, same thing. When I'm looking on the rural side of things, I can take a look at areas like my favorite would be like Strathcona County, right? So we can take a look at some of the different properties that are available for sale, and gives you a range. So right now there is 93 properties for sale that range from $8.85 million to $99,000 probably for a parcel of land or whatnot. But you can take a look at some of these beautiful properties, and I'll give you some different information. So some of the stuff that you need to consider when buying is what the services are. Like, is it running on septic and cisterns, and does it have a well? What's that all look like? What is it even? And those are some of those things that we would like to in-depthly talk to you about. So that'll give you a better look at what it is. But this is all behind the scenes information that I've learned to utilize, and I'll give you all that back scene information, and we can tell you what properties are sold within the area, and all that fun stuff. When you do call me, and we do eventually set you up, if you want to check out my website, www.hauptrealty.com, check it out. I've got lots of super awesome searches that are on here that you can explore at your fingertips. So right at the top here, you've got different searches that you can look at in different parts of the area that I've set up. So if you click on Southwest Edmonton, particularly, one of my favorite spots, you can check out. It's got a write-up on it. You can search the different areas as well. You can look in different price points from $100,000 to $300,000. They go up in $200,000 increments, and then over $1 million. You can look at different things like map views and see where the different properties are located within that southeast region. And then you can actually look at the listings as we go in and go further in. If you break down at the bottom here, we've got all the different communities within that southwest or far south areas, and we've got our videos here at the bottom showcasing some of our favorite communities. So it's information, free information at your fingertips. We'd love to earn your business and talk more, and these are some of the things that will put you on an alert system and you can check out. So on the right hand side here, you can take a look at lots of different things like popular searches that we have, search by Edmonton homes and areas, acreage searches, all that sort of fun stuff. Going back to the acreage search, you've got acreage foreclosures, the different counties, and a popular search, acreage of a shop. Another popular search that we have, these are all things that I've set up for people that have asked me, like Edmonton luxury homes, Edmonton foreclosures, basement suite homes, walkout basement house, triple car garage, bungalows, infill, lots for sale, new home, acreages for sale in Edmonton within 15 to 20 minutes, listed in the last 7 days, and townhouses for sale. And like we've gone into depth into lots of different things, like different various cities. If you want to check out different cities, we do service Calgary, Canmore, Banff, Vancouver, and Whistler, but predominantly here in Edmonton, you can see all the different outsourcing communities that I would recommend. And then we can also look at places like lake cabin. So super popular destinations in and around. These are all within a couple hours of Edmonton and as close as half an hour. So these are all different lake-like cottages and houses that you can check out that are on the lake that I think is super important if you're looking to eventually buy a lake cottage, or maybe you want to live out the lake. It's amazing for all seasons. If you're into the commercial world, you can check out businesses for sale, industrial property, multifamily. So 4 more properties for sale, connected, office space, retail space, and all that fun stuff. And my top communities that I recommend, Edmonton's newest communities, and custom searches. So give me or my team a call, or simply just log on to the website and click on and add a profile. You can make your own search up, and we can do everything for you so that you get alerted with the properties that you see. And if you ever do like a property, all you need to do is click that save button on here and fill out your information, and we'll get alerted, and you can either schedule a tour or go from there. But that's all I have for today. If you have any questions and you have any concerns, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We'd love to work with you and showcase what it looks like to be in and around Edmonton. There's so much to know, and we are born and raised here in Edmonton, Alberta, and we know the ins and the outs and where you should be and where you shouldn't be, what the top schools are. So drop us a line and we'll be there for you guys. But until next time, see you later. And there you go, my closer look into what living in Edmonton, Alberta is like. If you're looking to move within the Edmonton, Alberta area, or relocate to the Edmonton, Alberta area, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Day or night, we are here to help you buy or sell your next home.
And as always, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you're notified every time we put out a new video. And until next time, we'll see you later.